What's up, guys? We're here with my man Devin. He's actually been in the program for a bit now. You've been hovering anywhere between like 0 and 10K a month, right? Here's the thing. He's really smart, and at the end of the day, usually these problems can be solved pretty easily. So we're gonna do a full audit of the business, and hopefully you guys can take away from this video how you can do the same for your business, right? So understanding how do you perform an audit, how do we identify what exactly is not working, and then what to improve, right? Theory of constraints, looking at the numbers, and how do I actually improve my business? Now, a lot of you watching will probably go, I don't even know my numbers. Well, this will be great because you will learn what numbers to track, and then that will give you the information and the data to make good decisions about how to start scaling your business. Devin, do a quick intro. What do you do? What kind of clients do you help?
Awesome.
Where are you currently at, and then what's your goal? What are you trying to get to in the business?
Okay, so I am 19 years old. I'm actually in college, and right now we're, yes, like he said, hovering between 0 and 10K a month. I've been at this for roughly 5 to 6 months, launched my ads roughly 6 months ago, and I work specifically with high-ticket service-based businesses, and what that looks like is contractors, med spas, even high-end like auto shops. So,
and why is that? Why did you choose that niche?
well, with the sales process, you can be a little bit more hands-on, especially when you're helping the clients close. You're able to be hands-on with each lead because the value is higher. And also, the same process that I run for my clients, I actually run for myself.
There we go. And then where are you going to be here in the next few months? What's the goal after you leave here today?
I would love to be at 50,000 a month.
Oh, 50,000. Okay.
I know, big shoot.
So what happened last time, we didn't film it, but we're filming this one because it was really, really good. I flew out one of my guys who's also in the program. He was stuck at 30K per month in his business. He's 22 years old. He's probably 21 at the time. This was just last year. I told him, bro, just fly out in person. We will build systems for you. We'll hire people on the spot. We'll rework and rewrite your sales scripts. We'll identify your constraints. We will solve them on the spot. You'll go execute, and then you'll start making more money. 30K per month, he was stuck. Went back and implemented after that weekend with me, and within 2 months, he more than doubled and started hitting $70,000 months. Last month, he did $83,000 cash collected, and he's operating at 85% profit margin, and he's 22 years old. So that being said, these are really powerful, and he paid a good amount of money to be here, and so did the other guy. You guys are getting it for free. Not the whole weekend, but this part of it. So better make sure you leverage it properly. So let's get into it. We're gonna do a full audit. We're gonna identify what the specific constraints are in the business and why we're not making money right now. And then we're gonna talk about how to solve them specifically, okay? So a pretty long video, but I promise you, if you sit down, you take notes, and you watch what we're doing here today, you will learn more than an entire 4-year degree, guaranteed, in just one video. So we're gonna go over your offer first. Who do we sell to? What do we charge? What problem are we solving for our clients? We'll go over your current lead generation process. What are we currently doing to get calls in your calendar to close more deals? We'll go over also part of your sales process, right? What are we then doing of the calls we're getting booked? How are we closing them, and how is this looking to onboard clients? And then after we onboard clients, what does our fulfillment process look like? Meaning, how are we getting our clients results? We're gonna look at our retention rate. We're gonna look at our success rate, identify what success means for clients, which, by the way, hint, hint, it doesn't mean more engagement, more awareness, and going viral on social media, because that does not directly contribute to top line revenue. At the end of the day, when I ever ask people, like, what problem are you solving for your clients? They're like, awareness. That's equivalent to saying, like, why does your wife marry you? Because she likes me. What does that mean, right? Like, it's super subjective. You can't quantify it. And if you can't quantify, if you can't put a KPI behind it, a key performance metric, key performance indicator, then we can't gauge continuity, we can't gauge predictability, and we can't gauge how to improve certain things because it's totally up in the air. So we're gonna talk about fulfillment, and then we're gonna talk about retention. How good are we doing at retaining clients? Because I don't care, and you don't care about getting a bunch of new deals closed if they keep churning, if they keep leaving, if they keep stopping paying you, because then there's a problem with what?
Value.
With value, like the service we're actually delivering for our clients. There's a hole there, right?
Yeah.
We'll start with the offer and just get clarity on that, all right? Who do we sell to? Who do we help?
So we sell to high-ticket service-based businesses. That looks like people selling something over $1,000 on an average sale value. Right now, the actual offer, the deliverables look like us hopping in there, ideating, scripting, and creating ads to run on Facebook and Instagram. That also looks like us creating a sales process so that not only do we generate these leads on autopilot, target ads, do the copy and everything like that, but it also looks like us making sure that we are able to nurture, build trust with those leads that we generate, and ultimately build on the systems to convert down the line.
So we're doing the whole funnel for them to acquire clients. We're not just making content. And this is the missing component that will change everything for you guys. So here in a minute, we'll also go over what it looks like, a basic client fulfillment journey. We'll probably use one of the ones that I have. It's a little bit cleaner. Yours is funny, dude. It's like, you got so many flows all over. So we'll show you guys an example of what it looks like to create a piece of content and then all the way down the funnel, deliver qualified leads on a silver platter, booking in a call for your clients. Because right now what you're probably doing is making cool, pretty videos. You pass it off to your client and they go, awesome, now what, right? It's the same thing as like saying to a client, I can build you an amazing race car that's capable of winning the race, right? This thing will freaking beat everyone else. You build the race car, you finally present it to your client, you go, look, there it is, look at the race car I made. And your client goes, this is so awesome, this will freaking win the race. Who's gonna drive it? And you're like, oh no, that's on you, that's not my job, I just make the videos. And that's exactly why you're broke. That's why you're broke, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. So what you actually should do is build the race car and then put the driver in the driver's seat so it actually wins the race. Winning the race meaning the actual outcome the client wants, which is return on investment, tracked return on investment, making more money. Because guess what? If you're working with a roofing company and they spend $4,000 a month on you plus $2,000 in ad spend, $6,000 total, and you generated them 4 sales with an average profit of $10,000 per sale, which is $40,000, how many times do you think they're gonna keep spending $6,000 a month on you and your services to keep making 40?
Forever.
They'll probably keep doing it, right? But when you sit down on a meeting and you're just doing organic content, your client's like, why would I keep working with you? What are you gonna say? Look at all the views we're getting.
Our
Sure.
page looks nice.
Yeah, our page looks nice. Sure, brand awareness. But then they're gonna be like, cool, but like my revenue is still the same. Okay, so we'll show you what that looks like here in a second. But offer high ticket service-based businesses over $1,000 in average order value. What does that mean?
Each sale that they make is over $1,000 in cash collected, so profit.
So would restaurants fall into that category?
No, sir.
Okay, so why high ticket though? Why is it important for us to go sell video marketing services to high ticket businesses and no one else?
They're the easiest to get our hands into their process and actually create that output for them, AKA return on investment.
So the client journey and how people go about purchasing a product is dependent and varies between industries. You've got e-commerce, for example, right? Like you just sell a bunch of products online in your total addressable market or your TAM. Your total addressable market is the whole country, could even be the whole world, right? You're selling to everybody and you're selling low ticket products online, meaning the funnel and how you're going to acquire clients is a totally different process and a totally different buyer journey than someone locally going to get Botox or like medical services, right? Mm-hmm. So understanding the buyer journey is incredibly important to actually deliver results for your clients. Because if you don't understand the buyer's journey, you're just gonna be posting content hoping that it works. And there's a formula for every single one of them. Again, you've got e-commerce businesses, then you've got local brick and mortars that are also low ticket. You gotta track foot traffic like restaurants or brick and mortar shops where they're selling apparel or clothing. Then you've got service businesses locally that sell high ticket services like home service businesses or professional services like CPAs, attorneys, people like that. Then you've got high ticket online like info products, done for you services, stuff like that. So why is it important to, again, go after high ticket local service businesses? Like what are the pros for an agency as to why we would go after those businesses?
Well, as an agency, you obviously don't want to be guessing and running back to the drawing board with every new client that you bring on. So what we do is we have a repeatable, consistent system.
Why is it important to have a repeatable system instead of doing constant customized different projects for every different client?
Well, working with 10 clients, all walking them through the same process, you can make standard operating procedures. It's easier to delegate because it's repeatable. You're able to do the same thing over and over again. So every new client I add on, it's not a new headache. It's something that I can standardize and have people under me repeat it and carry that out for me. In comparison to working with 10 clients who all have different processes in order to scale.
And by the way, a standard operating procedure or SOP is quite literally a document. It could be a Google document with a hyperlink to a Loom video and then a step-by-step list on how to perform a specific task within a business. Okay? If you don't have SOPs, you cannot hire properly and build repeatable systems. And as a byproduct, you are then doing everything yourself, right? And when you do everything yourself, what does that do to the business?
It bottlenecks it and prevents it from scaling.
What's it do for your profit margins?
Oh, yeah.
It helps your margins a little bit because you're doing everything yourself, but the hours spent to perform the work, instead of doing 20 hours a week and then spending the rest of your hours on high value tasks like moving the needle and scaling the business and making more money, you're spending it on fulfillment. And then what happens? Sure, you might have a little better margins, but if you're doing 10K per month with 5 different clients and they're all doing totally different things and you're the one performing every function of the business, you're scripting their ads, you're filming their content, you're editing everything, you're posting it for them. What does that do in terms of your time availability to go get more clients?
Completely caps it. I mean, I'd rather have a 90%, or I'd rather have a 70% margin of $30,000 a month than a 90% margin of $10,000 a month.
Yeah. So guys, I'm sorry, I talk really fast, so does he. Pause at certain points and rewind if you have to make sure you're really understanding what we're talking about here, okay? The purpose of this is to teach you how to think, not what to think, right? It's to build skill sets to understand how businesses actually operate, how your agency should operate if you actually want to scale, make more money, right? And get your time back and operate with healthy profit margins. So We got a repeatable system, okay? Now, a lot of people will probably think, well, if I can't, I got to do custom projects because everybody has different needs, right? Every business has different needs, so I have to customize everything. What do you think about that?
That's what we tell them in the script.
So
For you
so here's the thing. 99% of businesses actually really only have one problem that we solve. What is that one problem?
Lead generation.
Lead generation. It's not brand awareness. It's not having a pretty looking page. It's not more views. It is how can we generate more lead flow on a monthly basis, right? Which then adds predictability to their income. That's the only problem that we're solving here. Okay. Now the question is, how can we actually make sure we deliver repeatable results? Well, organic content won't do that. We're beating a dead horse at this point. Okay, so it's a repeatable system. So we're going after high ticket service businesses, over $1,000 in average order value that they sell. And we're going after local. You guys are going after local high ticket service businesses, which is what we're going to do for you to start. Right now, one of the constraints I think you have is we went nationwide too fast. Got to localize a little bit. Okay.
So nationwide equals higher TAM, right? I didn't get constraint on fulfillment wise, I got constraint on generation wise, which probably points more to me just having to target better ads, etc.
Potentially. Once we get into that, we'll let the numbers tell us, okay? Because you could be right. I think, so a question mark's probably better. I think this might be a constraint. We'll come back to it.
Cool.
Okay? Because 100%, if the numbers, hence why it's so important to know your numbers, if the numbers tell us, hey, we actually don't really have an acquisition problem and we don't have a client results problem and some other things too, then sure, we can keep doing that. Okay, let's just see what the numbers tell us. So deliverables, you're scripting, filming, and delivering how many ads on a monthly basis?
3 ads a month to be split tested. We also go ahead and make sure that we build out their automation. So that goes into the category of building trust with that client. If it is a local offer, we're gonna go out and film. If it's a nationwide offer, that'll look like AI ads.
Ooh, AI ads. Some of you guys watching are probably gonna be like, no, AI, stay away. They're taking our jobs. Stay and watch this video because you will start to open your mind to understand that, hey, there's 2 types of people, right? They're the ones that understand AI is going to take over and they succumb and they victimize themselves to where the trajectory of our economy is moving, which is AI is taking over. They're going to make excuses like, oh, well, AI is not as good as what I can do. People aren't going to understand the value. It's not actually going to do anything. You can refuse to admit it and then you're going to stay exactly where you're at and probably go even more broke and you're going to put yourself in a worse position, or understand this is where the world's moving. It's happening. Like AI is advancing at an up curve, not linearly. It's going at an up curve, right? Say it with me. Up curve. It's advancing quickly, meaning 10 years ago, people were like, what's AI? And then like, what, 2 years ago, ChatGPT came out? 3 years ago, something like that? And we went from within decades to finally developing a small ChatGPT, like starting out AI, to now we literally have AI agents that can complete tasks for you in the background. We know AI is advancing quickly. So what's the smart thing to do?
Learn and adapt.
Add it to your tool chest, right? Use it, leverage it. If it's working, use it to make your job easier. Automation build outs, we'll dive into what these mean too. So 3 ads on a monthly basis. What do those ads look like? So usually in terms of structure of ads, right? We have hook, body, call to action. The hook is just like a pattern interruption, a bold claim, something to grab somebody's attention to make them go, whoa, hold on, stop scrolling and go, what is this? And how does this correlate directly to me, right? What makes a good hook is something like along those lines, but specifically speaking to someone's pain point, unique pain point, okay? And by the way, saying business owners looking to grow is not a hook. It's super broad, okay? I'll put you on the spot. Give me an example of a really targeted hook that speaks to a specific pain point.
Location targets are the best, and maybe even occupation targets. So instead of business owners looking to grow, HVAC companies in Orange County.
There you go, that's the first step, right? And then the next thing would be hitting on the pain point. That's another part of the hook, right? So you've got location, call out, we have business model, and then we have pain point. Let's do med spas, okay?
Sure.
Med spas in Orange County, and then give me an example of a pain point.
Your service might even be the best in its area, but you have no clue where your next lead is coming from.
Ooh. Right? Like med spa owner watching is going to be, whoa, I'm a med spa owner. I live in that city. And yeah, I hate the fact that I have a superior service, but nobody knows about me, right? And my competitors, and another good example would be like med spa owners in Orange County, you know you have an amazing service, but not enough people know about it. And you're tired of watching your competition take your business when they have an inferior product, right? They're going to go, shit, I need to see this ad, right? So the hook is what hooks them in. Then we come up with the body. By the way, we have formulas on this. Might not have enough time to dive into the actual formula of how to script a profitable ad campaign, but this is basically the meat and potatoes. The body is basically going to be the offer right? So what are we gonna do for you? We will come in, do these deliverables, we'll achieve this outcome in your business within this time frame, right? Using this unique mechanism. For the most part, like that's a short version of it. And then your call to action is going to be what?
So this largely bases around the offer, and what we offer is a free high value content offer. So what that looks like is a free consultation call with us to walk you through for free how to go ahead and change that and build that system.
So notice how he's not saying, click the link and we will do this for you and we will get you leads. Instead, you're saying, we'll give you a call, give you a full audit, and we'll show you exactly what we can do to help.
Bingo.
Right? So why don't we go direct to the offer and try to sell them, and why instead are we just trying to sell a call?
Get your foot in the door.
There you go. You get them on a call, then you're able to go through an actual sales process, which again, we're gonna dive into here shortly. You go into the proper sales process on the call to then close. Every single step of your funnel, which I'll walk you through here in a second, the only purpose of each step is to do what?
Build trust with the lead.
More specifically,
convert to the lead.
Get them to the next step. Marlon, he's filming in the background. He's like, get him to the next step. Say that again? Hold up.
Did you just purchase an X $30,000 machine that's just collecting dust, thinking it was going to bring you more clients, but in reality, something along the lines of that?
Yeah. Right. So you just spent this much money on this machine thinking it was going to make you more money in return, but no one knows about your business and no one's coming in to actually use the machine. It's almost like saying, so you're a videographer that just bought a bunch of fancy new equipment and made your LLC hoping that business is going to magically come, and then you found out, I have no business to use my camera. That's painful. It's like, dang it, where's the business? So let's go over a basic example of the marketing journey that you should be having for your clients to acquire new clients, okay? And then we're gonna audit yours and how it's currently performing. So you typically start with top of funnel offer ads. That's the ads we were just talking about, right? And when we say ads, where are we running these ads?
Facebook and Instagram.
So Meta, right? You go to business.facebook.com. You'll set up your campaign in there. It's really simple. If you want to learn how to do that, go ahead and watch this YouTube video right here. So you start with top of funnel ads, right? And then we've got some organic content, okay? That's going to help nurture people. So your ads, people click the link. They're like, that sounds interesting. I want to solve that problem. Click the link, and then they're going to fill out a Facebook form right here. They click on it, and then a form will pop up in Facebook. And I'll ask them a couple qualifying questions. Right? Now, what are qualifying questions?
What's your monthly revenue? Where do you get your leads from right now? How much is the service that you offer?
And the purpose of qualifying questions is to make sure they're a good fit for your services, right? As an example, you don't want somebody to book a call in your calendar and waste your time if they're like a, respectfully, real estate agent that hasn't sold a single home, but they're really excited, but they make no money. Why is that important? Why do we not want to hop on a call with someone that has no money?
They can't buy your offer, and the systems that you have, the repeatable systems that you have, don't fit or work for their business to actually bring a output.
Exactly. So there's no point in wasting time on an hour-long sales call if they're not a good fit to work with you in the first place. So we ask a few qualifying questions, just about 3. What's your current revenue? What's your current problem in your business that you're facing from a marketing standpoint? And how soon you're looking to get started, as an example, right? They'll answer the questions, they'll fill out the Facebook lead form, okay? And then they're going to get a thank you page that says, wait, you're not done yet. Make sure to book a call with our team so we can actually hop on a call and see if we're a good fit. They'll then get a link to go book a call on a calendar themselves. They will then book the call. As soon as they book the call, we then do a quick triage. What's a triage?
Introduce yourself and also maybe confirm the qualification level of this lead.
So they'll book in the call, we pick up the phone, we call immediately. Whether they book the call or not, either way, we're still calling the lead, because when they fill out the Facebook lead form right here, they're gonna submit their information and you're gonna get their email and their phone number, and it's gonna go to your CRM, okay? As soon as that comes through, we call within 5 minutes. Why do we call so fast? Because at the end of the day, every few minutes that passes after that initial 5 minute, their chance of actually answering and hopping on a call with you goes down by 80%. So call your leads immediately while they're still hot and actually want your service.
Don't test this, just take his word for it.
Just do it, just do it. So even if they fill the form out and they book a call, or if they don't, either way, we're still going to triage. We still want to hop on the phone, build a little bit of rapport, be like, hey, saw you filled out the form. Mind if I ask a couple questions real quick, see if we're a good fit? Awesome, cool. How much money are you currently making? What's your offer? How do you help people out? What's currently your constraint preventing you from scaling and getting more clients? And then cool, are you free tomorrow around noon? Yeah, awesome. I'll book you in for a call. Book in the call manually if they didn't book the call. If they did book the call, you're just asking the same questions, confirming that they're a good fit and worth your time, right? And you go, awesome. Well, I see you booked a call for this time and this day. Looking forward to chatting. That's it. right?
It's also a micro commitment to the next step.
Exactly.
Which is what-
It's going to increase your show up rate. What is show up rate? It's the percentage of people that book a call that actually show up to the call, which is a really important metric we're going to break down here shortly as well. Then, once they book the call, you triage, and then we have our pre-call sequence. What is that?
So it's a series of automations that nurture and build trust with the client, maybe some testimonials, a case study with your past clients. Oh no, I don't have any clients. Maybe a VSL that is explaining what you do, your offer, maybe even pre-handling objections that they may have to work with you. All so that increases the chance that they show up. And also when they do show up, there's already a little bit more rapport built.
100%. So we're doing the work before they show up to the call. Right? We're building trust, we're getting them excited about our system and what we have to offer, we're building rapport, and we're increasing the chance and likelihood that they show up in the first place. Okay, so pre-call sequence, and then we have the actual strategy call or the sales call. And then, assuming we do our job properly, we close, and then we proceed with onboarding, which is down here on this side, okay? So we'll go back over to this side over here. Hook, body, call to action. So we're making 3 ads on a monthly basis. Why 3? Why are we doing multiple ads every single month?
So we can compare all 3 ads to try and find a winner, and the numbers will point to the best one or the highest performing ad.
So we're gonna run in a campaign. Let's talk about campaigns real quick. So meta ads right here. You have your campaign, which then branches off to a few different ad sets. And I'll explain what these mean in a second. This is the first step. I know a lot of you are probably listening like, what in the world is this? This sounds like hieroglyphics. This is the first step to you making more money. There's no other way around it, okay? So stop thinking, man, I want an easier way. I want to figure out an easier way I can make more money and get more clients. That's why you're broke. That's why so many people are broke. I take that back. You're probably doing okay. That's why so many people say broke overall though and they can't scale, is because they refuse to build the skill sets required to make more money. So accept the fact that if you want to be immensely valuable, if you want to get to a point where you can hop on a call and it's a no-brainer for someone to buy from you, then we have to develop these skill sets. So we have ad sets here, and then underneath each ad set, we have the ads. So on and so forth, right? Now, the campaign is simply put the objective. What is the objective of the ad that we're trying to do here? Are we trying to get more leads? Are we trying to get more clicks? Are we trying to send traffic or clicks for people to go to a landing page, like a website or something else? Are we trying to just get simply engagement, right? Are we just trying to get people to engage, like, comment, all that good stuff? What is the goal? And for you, you're only ever gonna do leads. That's the good news, right? People usually start running ads and they're so confused, like, I don't know what to do because there's like 50 different campaign options. Just do leads, that's it. Hit lead form, okay? We're getting leads and then we're doing lead forms. That's it, leads, then lead forms, okay? Then under the campaign, we're getting lead forms. The ad set is who are we putting this ad in front of? That's all that is. The ad set is the audience. We're usually gonna do 3 different ad sets. Now, depending on the amount of ad spend, you want $30 per creative per day, per creative. Meaning if you have 3 creatives, you want to be doing $90 a day to properly test. This is for you and your video business, and it's also for your service business clients. We always want to do this. Why 30 a day? Ridge, that's a lot. It's actually really nothing. Because we need enough spend per day to get enough data. Any less, it's going to be really difficult, and it's going to take a long time to get enough data, okay? So we have 3 different ad sets. For you guys, you're just going to be doing 1 right now, okay? Usually you want multiple ad sets to test different audiences, but the good news is recently, Meta came out with
What the hell is that?
Advantage. It's supposed to be a V. Advantage Plus. Meta's algorithm is so good that a few years ago, 80% of the success of a campaign was determined by how good the media buyer was, how good their copywriting was, how good their targeting was, all that stuff. And then 20% of the effectiveness of an ad was due to how good the creative or the video was. Now, that's completely flipped with Advantage Plus. Advantage Plus is simply put Meta's AI algorithm targeting, meaning now your creative is going to be doing 80% of the workload. Meaning it's more important now than ever for videographers to learn how to make really good high-performing creatives, really good videos. Because assuming you make a good creative, you do a really good audience call out, you hit on pain points properly, and you're able to actually find the right people and get them to convert, Meta will find the audience for you. That's the best part. So running ads nowadays is super simple. You just need to have actually good ads, which most people don't know how to do and they suck at it. So that's the good news for you, okay? And then you have the different creatives. Now for the different creatives, you're gonna be doing the same body and the same call to action for all 3 of these creatives. You're just gonna change the hook, okay? So you're just gonna change, you're probably even gonna keep the same location targeting and the same business that you're targeting. You're just gonna maybe switch up the pain point. Or maybe you're gonna switch up how you hook people in so you can test those hooks, okay? Even with Andromeda, yes, it's the same thing. It really hasn't changed much at all.
Can I ask 2 questions? When do you use different ad sets? What does that look like? What is the difference in testing?
So it's when you want to target different audiences, right? So for example, if you want to change geographically. So for you, if you want to go after 3 different cities, right? Which I think we talked about before on a call. If you want to go after 3 different cities, those are 3 different audience segments that we're getting in front of with our creative. Meaning we have to do 3 different ad sets. So maybe this one is Orange County, this one's maybe LA, and then maybe this one's like New York City. I don't know. You want to have a really big TAM for each one. Not really big, but at least a few 100,000 people, right? If you're in a small town, 20,000 people, move. Pick up and go somewhere bigger so you have a big, like people that are like, oh man, this is funny. I talk to people a lot that are like, there's nobody in my town, it's so small, it's hard to make money. Okay, then go somewhere else. I'm not even kidding. I literally have moved 7 different times, 7 different states. We just moved here to Texas because our last location, our environment was not conducive, right? Like we wanted to be in a better area to support our goals in our business. So we moved to find a location to support that. Or, I mean, nowadays with AI, what you're doing, you could probably just do AI ads, which means you have location freedom, so you don't have to physically show up on site and you can target wherever you want to.
When it gets better.
But yeah, we'll get to that point here shortly though. So anyway, I don't want to dive too deep into this stuff. I want to make sure we're still focused on you, okay? So offer, let's go back to this, okay? This is a little bit more advanced. Again, make sure you guys watch the video that I have. Watch my YouTube video that's titled, What's Actually Working to Land 15K Video Clients in 2025. I'll show you exactly how to set ads up that are going to convert, okay? So let's get back to it. All right, so we're going after high ticket service businesses over $1,000 average order value. Our deliverables are on a monthly basis. You're going to script, film, and deliver 3 different ads to test properly to make sure we're constantly stacking winning creatives to get them the lowest cost per lead, right? So they spend the least amount possible to get leads and calls booked on their calendar. Automation build out, walk me through that. What exactly are we building out from an automation perspective?
So we're building out notifications to make sure that their leads that are generated show up to the appointments. What does that look like? It can be simple. Reminder texts, reminder emails, MedSpa, right? That's our example. Skincare glow ups, texting them the pictures before and after.
Ooh.
All leading up to that point of their customers' consultation. Why? It's building more desire. It's twisting the knife into their pain points, all getting that person to show up and even be even more excited to close.
100%. Okay. So automations are great because you set it up once and it just works in the background, right?
Yeah.
And so automation is basically like, what task do we do on a consistent basis in our business that keeps happening that we can just create an automation for? So what software do we use to create these automations? Is Go High Level, okay? Go High Level is usually the best software, and or VidLead, it's all the same. VidLead is just a white label version of Go High Level. And then what's the outcome that we're delivering for our clients?
Outcome is repeatable, consistent, booked appointments. So they actually know when their next lead or booked appointment is coming from, where and when.
You're also implementing a call center. Walk us through what the call center does that you have in your offer.
Bingo. So as Rich touched on earlier, it's very important to make sure that you call your leads within 5 minutes of them coming in. I noticed that a lot of business owners' constraints was sales, as in making sure that these guys did book in or making sure that they showed up, and also being able to call these leads within 5 minutes. Because at the end of the day, they're busy business owners, and a lot of them won't take action unless they already see some sort of result. But they need to call their leads within 5 minutes to get that result.
Yeah.
So what I'm implementing, playing around with different things, either AI or someone that I train or a call center or VA, whatever it may be, we're going to make sure that we call these leads for those business owners, for them, to make sure that they get booked right into the calendar. So we're not just generating leads, we're generating actual booked appointments for the business owner.
And when we look at the whole funnel, right, the triage call is where people need to be calling within 5 minutes. Again, for every minute after the 5 that you don't call, your chance of actually getting them to pick up and booking them on an appointment drops by 80%. So you gotta call within 5 minutes. The problem is most business owners are so busy, they make excuses and they don't actually call their leads. And then what happens is they complain that they're not getting good leads because none of them are answering. When in reality, they're just not calling fast enough. So here's another good example of the value equation, right? Alex Ramosi, if you guys know him, if you don't, look up Alex Ramosi, the value equation, and understand this equation, okay? Basically, this equation, part of the equation is decreasing effort and sacrifice on the client's end. And the lower the effort and the lower the sacrifice the client has to make working with you to achieve the outcome, the more valuable your offer, AKA the more you can charge. So an example of this is we have found, or it sounds like you found after working with clients, you're generating them leads, they're getting calls booked on their calendar, but actually no, they're generating leads
yeah.
but they're not getting calls booked on their calendar because they're not calling fast enough.
Bingo.
So instead of just telling the clients, you gotta call, pick up, call them faster, they're obviously not doing it. So how do we decrease the effort and sacrifice? How do we make it easier for them, which will then in return, to achieve the outcome, which then in return will make your offer more valuable? So we then solve the problem by implementing a call center. So the call center here is going to automatically call the leads within 5 minutes every single time. Now, right now, our hiccup is logistically figuring out, do we hire people to literally just pick up the phone and call for each of our individual clients? And or do we find some sort of an agency or a call center that already has these people picking up the phone and white label them? White label is basically stating that you hire an external agency to complete a task for you. A lot of you might be using editing agencies to white label your edits for yourself and for your clients. These are agencies that already have editors trained up. You just pay the agency, the editors fulfill for you, okay? So that's something we're gonna dive into and figure out how to do that better so we can get more calls booked on the calendar, okay? So back to offer, automation build out, 3 ads on a monthly basis, implementing a call center. So the outcome ultimately is to get consistent booked appointments, right? Let's talk about lead generation and sales, okay? We're gonna go over your average, all of your KPIs. We're gonna do a quick audit on all of your numbers from a lead generation perspective. Let's first see where you're currently at in terms of generating and closing new deals. So here are the KPIs that we need to check out that are going to determine how well we're doing right now. Cost per lead, we're gonna go off of your best performing month numbers.
Cool.
Okay, and just see what's currently working there and the creative you were running then. Also, this dude works really hard.
Well, I feel like I don't right now.
Well, but that's the thing. But there's a difference between working hard and working smart.
Bingo.
Okay, and it's where you're dedicating your time and your attention and where you're putting your work into. Because if you just work hard, I know so many people that work hard, but they don't make any money. Hard work does not equal success and revenue. Smart work equals success and revenue. And first thing, like when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is update our numbers. First thing we do before we go into work and we start doing stuff, we update our spreadsheets. And that's what you should be doing, okay? So we're gonna come up here and we're going to add.
Let me ask something. So even if the ad is offered that day, whatever it may be, I update what I can?
Yep.
Or, okay.
Every morning, make sure it's up to date and all your numbers are tracked from the day prior.
Just as a habit, even if there's nothing to update.
Even if
probably
there's nothing to update, then you don't have to update anything. All right, now let's get into his metrics and acquisition. So we're gonna talk about how he's currently getting clients, okay? How are you currently getting clients?
Running ads.
Ads. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at all your current numbers for the month of July. Okay, it was a few months ago, but we're gonna look at the month of July. Since this is complete, we're gonna make and look at all the numbers and figure out and diagnose what the actual problem is here, preventing us from making money. Okay. Sakashi Toyota, the founder of Toyota, a long time ago wanted to figure out a way to help his employees diagnose constraints properly, because there's a big difference between what you feel is the problem in your business and what's actually the problem, right? Because so many times people will think, oh, I feel like right now I need to do this. Like, I feel like I need more awareness. I feel like I need to get better at sales. I feel like I need to have a different offer. Instead of knowing, well, what does the data tell you you need to do? So we're gonna break that down right now and figure out what exactly needs to happen from the data here in July. Total revenue generated $5,000. Month to date gross profit $2,800. Profit margin just under 60%, meaning 60% of everything you made is profit for you in the business. Let's look at the lead gen report. So we generated a total of 36 leads. That's 36 businesses that actively expressed interest in what he has to offer that want to work with him. We spent a total of $1,150 in ads for the month. Cost per lead was $31.94. How do we figure out cost per lead? Divide total ad spend by number of leads. So for every $31 he spent on ads in the month of July, he got a new lead of someone wanting to work with him, okay? Cash ROI, meaning the cash you collected. Now, what's the difference between upfront cash and total contract value? Upfront cash is just how much did you collect? So if you do a 4-month contract term, $10,000, but they decide not to pay it in full and they want to break it up over 4 months, then you did $2,500 in upfront cash collected for that close, but contracted $10,000, okay? So you can see down here, for the whole month, he contracted $10K and he collected $3,750 in upfront cash, okay? Now, this is where I think we went wrong. You have 3 PIFs here, but like, I don't think.
Oh yeah, the PIFs and the CMPs are wrong.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm ignoring that.
It was,
okay.
yeah.
Close rate, 62%, is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is actually. Okay, so yeah, dang, that's, bro.
It's better than 18, baby.
So you don't have a sales problem, to say the least. Okay, so it's important to look at your numbers. You're probably thinking like, well, how do I know what's good and what's bad? So we have target metrics for everything, right? For this offer, and target metrics are gonna be different for every single business model, every single offer. For the offer he's selling as a done-for-you marketing agency, providing done-for-you services, we want our cost per lead to be under what?
Probably, no, 80.
50. Generally speaking. Now, that's not the end all be all. That doesn't mean if his lead cost is above 50, his ads aren't working, we gotta shut them off. This is a little bit more advanced, I'm not gonna talk about it right now. But generally speaking, if it's under 50 bucks, your ads are working, okay? Cost per appointment is $104. That's also great. If you can keep your cost per appointment under $200, you're good. Meaning, for every $200 you spend, you get a call booked on your calendar with the business. That's not bad, okay? Qualified call, that is. So he's doing $104 to get a call on his books. That's great. That metric is well below KPI. It's about half, okay? How many scheduled appointments? We had 11. 11 scheduled calls out of the 36 leads. What are the 2 ways people book calls?
From the ads.
Directly from the ad Or
and then me calling them and booking them in.
triage. So we call it a triage because, I don't know exactly how the term came out, but a triage call is basically calling a lead to qualify them a little bit and set them for an actual formal sales call, okay? He had 27 scheduled appointments that initially got on his calendar of the 36 leads. So that's about a 75% lead to booking rate. That's actually phenomenal, bro. 75% of all of his leads booked a call with him, okay? So let's actually do lead to booking rate, like what percentage of all the leads booking a call. He had 75% lead to booking rate, which is good. But we only put 11 scheduled because he canceled most of them. Most of them were not qualified. Over half of them were not qualified, meaning they didn't have money or they just weren't a good fit. Based off his triage and or the form questionnaire they filled out. He's like, not a good fit, not gonna waste my time. So we had 11 qualified calls on the calendar, which means the cost per appointment right here, $104, is fantastic, honestly. That's really, really good. You're spending $104, bro, to get a qualified call on your calendar. Phenomenal, okay? Let's look at how many showed up. 8 of the 11 calls actually showed. That's also phenomenal. 73% scheduled show percentage, okay? That's really, really good. So 73% of all of your calls booked showed up to the call, $104 cost per appointment. 5 sales out of the 8 calls that showed up puts you at a 62% close rate. Real quick, round of applause, everyone. So a good metric for a close rate is 40%. Now, I know a lot of you watching are probably thinking, well, that doesn't sound that good to me because I close like 90% of my calls.
How many calls are you getting?
And where are they coming from? Because referrals, at the end of the day, most of you are probably operating off word of mouth and referrals. Well, what are you doing to get leads? Oh, BNI, networking, word of mouth, referrals. Okay, so, or another fancy way of saying, I'm not doing anything to get more leads. I'm just letting the market hopefully send people to me. Now, why is it easier to have a really high close rate off referrals?
Because they already know you and they have been recommended to you by someone you trust, everything like that. These guys are cold traffic. They have never seen you before. They don't know who you are. So to close half of them out of a control that you can inflow them in on yourself, on demand.
100%. So referrals, you have zero control over your outcomes, right? Zero control over how many calls you get in a month. You can get 5 calls in a month because you get 5 referrals. Maybe you get 20 if you just have a crazy month, and then maybe the next month you get 1 if you're lucky. The problem is you're relying completely off of chance. 100%, and just hoping and crossing your fingers that 1 month you're gonna have people come to you. So this is why we run ads, okay? We add that predictability. So sure, your close rate might go down, but at the end of the day, he's spending $230. That's it, bro. He's spending $230. Bro closed 5 deals at a $7,500. What's 7,500 times 5? $37,500. Okay, so total contract value should have been $37,500, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this total contract value is supposed to be $37,500.
What happened?
Now, question for you guys. How many times would you spend $230 to acquire a client paying you $7,500?
Unlimited amount of time.
Bro, I would literally just keep spamming money on ads. Now, the reason he's getting such good numbers here, and he's only spending $230 to acquire a client, that's CPA, cost per acquisition, or CAC, customer acquisition cost, all the same thing. He's spending $230 to acquire a client. Why? Because all these numbers lead to $230. Because every single number at every step within his funnel is within KPI, which is great for this month. Now, what are the primary reasons why he's good? How does each one of these get affected? You had a ton of leads because your ad creative was great. It caught attention, it was structured very well, you had a really good hook, really good audience call out, really good pain point that you called out. You spent an okay amount of ads, spend more. Cost per lead was great because the creative was good, okay? Calls scheduled was also great because the creative wasn't only attention grabbing and enjoyable, but it spoke directly to pain points and established urgency, which made people go, I gotta book a call. And he had a really good show up rate, meaning of these 11 calls that booked in, he had 8 of them actually show up. Why do you think you had such a good percentage of your calls, 73% actually show up?
I called them the day before and I called them an hour before.
Great, and then what else did you have in place? Do you have your pre-call?
Automations.
Oh,
yes.
automations. Okay, so you had pre-calls, meaning you sent SMS and emails off to them.
Bingo.
In between the day they scheduled the call to when they show up to the call, in between you had automated SMS and emails getting sent to them basically saying videos of you, leverage video, we're all videographers, videos of you basically saying like, hey, super excited for our call, here's what to expect, here's how to prepare, here's what we're gonna go over, make sure you show up, etc. You have case study videos. We're just nurturing the crap out of them so we can increase our show up rate and we can maximize our potential to build trust so we can increase our close rate on the call. So show up rate's really good because he has a fantastic pre-call sequence in place, which ultimately leads to a fantastic cost per appointment, okay? And then sales, 5 closes out of 8 calls. Bro, that's nuts. You closed 5 deals out of the 8 calls that you had. What is attributed to a high close rate. Great sales process. We're gonna dial in and we're gonna break down some of your sales calls just to take a look at them, see if there's anything we can operate and fix there, but ultimately it looks like your sales is really good, bro. Your KPI for close rate should be above 40%. If it's below 40%, you probably need to work on your sales game. If it's way above 40%, you should probably increase your price. So that's the first thing we're gonna do, bro, based on, because here's the thing. If you did this, you can do it again. You did these numbers, meaning that's your baseline. You can do this again by turning on the same ads you had before, and you'll probably get the exact same numbers, if not very close. So another action item, raise prices, because our acquisition cost is $230. Our target for acquisition cost is sub $500. And even then it's really good.
One thing, if you notice that this is lower, I did not do 37 grand that month in terms of contract. Some of the ticket prices I dropped were lower because I realized that some of the people were secretly unqualified. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll close you anyway.
So you dropped your price?
Huh?
So a lot of these closes, you dropped their price, is that what you said?
Not for the same offer. This was the last month. I know, but I took one-offs.
Oh, so a lot of these closes were not on the $7,500
Two of them were one-offs. One of them was a half of 2,500. One of them was 2,500.
Okay, so we'll look into your sales. We could probably improve the sales process.
Yeah.
Even if 2 of the closes that were one-offs didn't happen, you'd still have 3 closes, which I believe would still keep your close rate at 3.
Dude, yeah, if it's a qualified lead, they're getting closed.
But seriously, what that tells me is even if you're at 40% or above close rate, raise your prices. So your price was $7,500. What's it gonna be now?
$8,500.
$10K, bro. Trust.
I put everything to be right here because I knew it was gonna be worth it. Obviously, metrics in the past, I had that, but even if it wasn't, dude, you just get around the people who are doing the thing and you do the thing. As long as you take action. I knew I would, especially putting my back against the wall, I knew I would. Now let me ask you, given the state of going all in, you don't think I should at least run a fast cash play? Not even a fast cash play, but get my current winning offer?
How much money do you have in your account right now?
$3 grand.
No, just do what already works.
Okay.
Just do
Let's
this.
do it.
Turn the ads back on that already produced these numbers and then do it again. Because guess what? Even if for some reason your acquisition cost doubles, your close rate gets cut in half, dude, you're still spending $500 to acquire a new client paying you 10 G's.
Yeah.
So no, 10K, literally what we did with Nolan. I was like, bro, just charge more. He's like, okay, done. Wrote it down.
Okay,
so
let's
went and
do
did
it. Yeah.
Hey, guess what? You know what's crazy? How much do you think his close rate fluctuated? He was hovering around like 39% close. Okay. How much do you think his close rate fluctuated over the next couple months after raising his price?
It went down, then went up.
You think it went down and then it came back up?
Yeah.
It actually didn't fluctuate at all. Is that interesting?
Why
do you think that is? Because when you raise your prices, you would assume that, well, if I charge more, I probably get less closes, right? Why do you think it's actually the opposite? Actually, I'm sorry, his close rate went up by I think like 5%.
Really?
Why do you think it went up?
Respect for the offer.
Perceived value, right? So Hermalzi talks about this a lot too, right? Like in the value equation, perceived value or perceived likelihood of achieving the outcome. How likely is it based on your sales process and all the value you build up, how much will the prospect perceive that, how confident are they they'll be able to get the outcome? Well, Hermosi talked about this a lot too, it's really cool. He's like, you should be charging heinous prices. You should be charging prices so high that the prospect's like, what in the world is this guy doing for people that is allowing him to charge this much? I need to have it.
Yeah.
If people want real results, right? So if you're on a call and you go in with the confidence you have and you're like, yeah, man, it's just gonna be $7,500. Do you think they have a higher chance of closing off $7,500? Or if you go, yeah, man, so for all this stuff, it's just gonna be 20 grand.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Oh.
It's only gonna be 20 grand, man. Straight face, right? It's just gonna be 20 grand for all this. They're going to have a higher perceived value in your offer because there has to be a reason you're charging that much. Now we're not gonna do 20, we're gonna do 10.
Yeah.
But you go up, I highly doubt, and track your freaking numbers, bro.
Yeah.
Number one, first step, track and manage dashboard every morning. Over the next few months, we're going to see what fluctuates, what changes, okay? And then what you're gonna notice is I highly doubt that's gonna be affected at all.
Wait,
even if it goes down.
Just to push even more. Even with 3 funky leads in there and like weird closes in there too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
These numbers are so good. You have so much leeway. Even if this quadrupled and you had to spend $1,000 to acquire a client, you're still getting like 3 grand up front if they can't piff.
Yes.
You're already at 3x cash, even if this quadruples.
Yeah.
Do you see how much leeway we have? We have so much space and room for error that if you just maintain what you've currently been doing, but just increase your pricing alone, let's do some quick math here. If you just adhere to what you did, you don't change anything, you don't falter, you don't lower your price to get a sale. It's like, here's the offer, here's the process, you run the same ads, you have the same sales process, same offer, same pitch, everything. You don't change anything at all. Let's assume this goes up to $500, more than doubles, okay? $500 acquisition cost. Let's say you spend 2 grand for the month in ads. That's nothing. That's 4 new clients. And let's say you break it up and they do $3,500 a month. Let's just say 3 grand. I'm sorry, hold on.
Well, here's the thing. If I spend 3 grand and I close one, even just a third of that, I still make profit. I still survive.
Yeah, 100%. You'll generate minimum 13K cash.
Yeah.
If they all do payment plans, if you spend $2,000 for the month and you use the same creatives that generated these results before.
Yep.
You see how, like, dude, it's so simple. It's so easy. Like, you're going to be profitable. You're not going to lose anything.
And it should be uncomfortable to make that jump too.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, the businesses that win are always the businesses that are willing to spend the most to acquire a client. Mm-hmm. If I'm willing to spend more than you to get a client, who's going to get more clients?
Yeah.
Me.
Mm-hmm.
So spend. The only thing I'm seeing here is raise your prices, bro, because of your close rate and everything. Now, you only spent $1,000 and got all this data. Meaning, as you continue spending and you start spending more and you start closing more deals, you start getting out there more, you're going to, as a byproduct, have to face the law of diminishing return. Meaning, as you spend more on ads, this is not going to scale parallel. It's going to go down. These metrics are all going to go down a little bit. Okay. Yeah. As you scale, it's not going to be like, you can't just double your ad spend and then keep the same acquisition cost. You might go up a little bit, but again, like we said before, even if it goes up to 500 and it doubles, you're still fine. So you have leeway. All right. So overall, KPIs, there's nothing to fix here, really. Devin, here's the good news, bro. You flew all the way out here from Italy, right, to basically like blow up your business and figure out what's not working, what to focus on, so you can start making more money and go from where you're at now, which is like 0 to 10K months, super all over the place, to get to 30K consistently, or 50 specifically, but 30K within the next couple months, right?
Yes.
Scale aggressively and quickly. You came out here to probably like learn a whole bunch of shit, blow your mind. The good news is it's actually not going to be a lot of that. It's going to be just a couple small things. But here's the cool thing. I'll parallel it with this analogy. It's almost like you go pay a plumber. You're trying to fix your sink, right? You got like a clogged garbage disposal. You spend hours trying to fix this garbage disposal. You pull it apart. You try fixing something, doesn't work. It's still making weird noises. It's still not working. Finally, you're like, all right, let me just call a plumber. Plumber comes by. He spends 10 minutes doing one small tweak. All of a sudden it works again. And then the guy over here is like, well, what that do? And then he charges him $1,000. I was like, bro, $1,000, you spent 10 minutes doing it. And he's like, hold on, you're not paying for my time. You're paying for the output you're getting. And the outcome, right? So the good news is, like, dude, be excited. Because sure, you spent a little bit of money and you traveled 25 hours to come out here. Your whole business to get to 30K per month, based on the current numbers you already have that we already looked at from your ads and all of your KPIs and everything, it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
But this is what's gonna make you more than 30K per month.
Yeah.
Consistently. That's the cool part. Business doesn't have to be complicated. If anything, it should actually be the opposite. Business should be really, really simple. People just get so in the weeds on things, and you can see what's the biggest thing we're learning so far. Like, what's the biggest takeaway you have already?
Simplicity, and only doing the one single thing that matters right now.
And what's the one thing that you're not doing that once you start doing will all of a sudden give you clarity?
So, well, that.
What's the specific thing though?
Running the ads that have already worked for me.
All right, I'll tell him. Tracking your numbers, bro. Come on. We already talked about it. Because when he came in, I was like, all right, well, let's audit the business and figure out what's not working so we can solve it. I was like, pull up your dashboard. He's like, I don't have it filled out. I don't have it updated. Then we don't know what to fix.
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, oh my goodness, like 100%. So the good news is we spent a little bit of time, put together the actual numbers so they're accurate. And then we pull it up and we go, dude, this one ad creative that you ran produced insane numbers. Crazy close rate. You basically are sitting at a $250 acquisition cost, which means for every $250 you spend on ads, you close another client generating $7,500 to $10K in revenue. Just spend more on that other ad because you started a new ad. You're like, this ad sucks, it's not performing. Just turn on the other one that did perform. Right? And then we're like, okay, well, but it got disapproved, it's not working, and like Meta won't run it. It's like, okay, start a new campaign and then test it in a new campaign to override it. And then we did it. It's like, okay, now it's approved.
The ROAS, let's say I did $5,000. So I only spent $1,000 and did $5,000. That's 5x ROAS. Is that, well, yeah, I guess since it's positive. But the leads, here's my doubt. This is where it's coming from. And I want to be transparent so that you can just completely clock it on the head. Half of those leads were bad leads. And even then, none of them were PIFs.
So here, look. Your cost per appointment, $100.
But they were like trash appointments.
No. You spent $1,000 on ads, right? 1,150, right? That's accurate.
Yes.
Okay, and then you spent $104 for every call you took, correct?
Yes.
11. Those are qualified, right?
Or so I thought.
But they.
Up until that point, yes, they qualified under the metric of, oh, this is a business that I think I can help.
So when you actually got on the call, how many were qualified? So 8 of them showed up.
2 were qualified.
So cost per appointment taken was about 130 maybe. $130 for every call that you took based on your show rate. And the ones that showed up, only 5 were qualified. Now I need you to be honest with me. How confident are you that those 5 were the only ones that were qualified versus we just failed on our sales process?
Pretty confident.
Okay, what were the reasons why the other 3 were not qualified?
But
okay,
these are examples, yeah.
Unqualified, just starting, so they're brand new?
Brand new, a lot of brand new, a lot of like even restaurants, real estate agents, things like that.
Even with all that, even the fact that those 3 weren't qualified, you got 5 closes, right? Okay. So you didn't count that as a close or any of these as closes.
None of those are closes. And then 2 of those closes are like like I would never take those calls now. One of them was like, I just implemented a CRM. And I was like, all right, bro, I'll take your money for $400 to make you a sub account.
Okay, so 3 of them closed then that were good qualified clients, prospects?
I know 2 of them like are still clients today. They're paying month after month. They're good clients.
So 2.
Yes.
You're still $575. How many times would you spend $575 to acquire a new client at your price point?
Yeah, unlimited.
Don't get too in the weeds, bro. Like
Yeah.
none of this really matters
It's
too
fluff
much.
and
It's
the-
also
yeah.
1 month and barely $1,000 in spend. If you got this good of results off just $1,000, bro, I spent $1,000 every 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days. You did that a whole month, bro, and you still got this good of results. Yeah, don't overthink it. Spend more.
Yeah, because customer acquisition cost is the final metric.
That's what matters.
Yes.
Yeah, like you shouldn't be banging your head like, how do I fix this thing? Bro, it doesn't matter. Your acquisition cost is still like $500.
Yeah, even then.
You know what industry averages for agencies?
What?
Over 1,000.
For
For
acquisition?
a close, yeah, over $1,000 acquisition
crazy.
cost. It's between 1,000 and 1,500, and that's good. That's good in the industry. You're half that.
Yeah, for a 7,500 or 10 grand product. Which,
So here's the thing: we've only spent over just over $1,000. It's not enough really to get really good data of like what's working and what's not. But even with minimal data, you're already profitable by quite a bit. So your only focus should be, again, remember what I said before, like
tracking the numbers, and then I can make it more profitable.
exactly, and then spend more, because the more you spend, the more data you collect, the faster you can make pivots.
Yes.
The faster you can fix and solve specific things. Right? Like you can literally spend as much as you can, and you could just every day wake up, look at the dashboard and just see, okay, that's not working, that's not working. And if I were to fix this problem because this is what's causing the number to be low, if I fix this problem, it'll increase by this much. Here's my projected return after I make this improvement. And then you can project, oh, if I just make this one improvement, I'll make this much more money. So for example, like if this was sitting at a 60% close, let's say hypothetically 60 was bad and 80 is your target, which isn't true. But let's say that's bad and 80 is your target. If you go up 80%, you can project what would my total upfront cash be and my contract value if I solve my close rate issue and increase by 20% after solving.
Yeah.
Then you can project, you can go, okay, cool, I'm gonna make a ton of money, right? And then you know, okay, cool, solving this one number constraint is worth my time because I see after solving it, my projected return afterwards.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you that's worth my time, right? Because
Yeah.
if your projected return is an extra 10 grand, it's like, okay, cool. Well, the reason that number is low, like close rate, for example, the reason close rate is low is because the common constraint is I can't handle this one objection. So if I get really good at handling this objection and I increase my close rate to 20%, I will then in return make this much more money.
and when you put it like that, you can throw all your energy at just that one objection
Exactly.
thing, simplifying
Yep.
what you have to.
And that's all you do is you solve that until it hits that number. That's it.
And you can only dial in your action items like that when you have your numbers tracked.
Otherwise, what do? You don't know what's going on.
You're guessing, yeah.
And you start doing a bunch of random shit.
Yeah, or fulfilling.
And then you stay stuck and then you don't make more than 10K a month. Right?
It's true. Hit too close to home.
And then also the 2 clients you do like that are really great,
Yeah. If we dial in fulfillment too, then they're recurring. That's another thing.
and then LTV is high.
Bingo.
And then when you get more clients, you start getting to 5, 10, 15 retainer clients. You can then have more clients to start figuring out which ones do you really like working with. And then let's say you have like 5 renovation clients that are all crushing in their printing. Then what do?
You niche down.
You make ads going after home renovation companies and say, here's how we made this much return average between our 5 renovation clients. And then you niche down and then you close more deals with the people you've already proven you can crush for. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, this is a small amount of data, just over $1,000, right? With Nolan, when he came over, we analyzed about $12,000 in ad spend data. That was a lot more data, so we can make a lot more accurate
Decisions.
on what to do. Because this is so minimal, this could all be really different next month. But that's why it's important to track every month, because if you had 6 months of data for $1,000 a month in ad spend, we would then have $6,000 in ad spend data. Which then, the more data you have, the better decisions you can make. We have, at this point, over $130,000 in ad spend over the past, like, I don't know, maybe a year. And because we have so much, all the numbers we can look at, and we can get really accurate with, okay, what's really the problem, right? So that's the other thing you need to look at is like, you should be spending as much money as you can on ads as fast as you can so you can get data faster. Make sense?
It's almost like you're paying for 2 things. You're paying for, one, more money, as long as you're profitable. Throw it in, and also you're like, okay, bring me my next constraint so I can solve
exactly.
it. So I could.
Yeah,
make
you're
more.
just trying to find the next problem as fast as you can. Right, that's it. So anyway, this should be your end all be all. This should be the holy grail of what you look at every day.
Yeah.
Because it'll tell you what the problem is.
Yeah. My biggest action item I wrote down was literally just like log into this every day, even if I, let's say for some reason I'm not running an ad, so log in.
And put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar every single morning when you wake up and you start going to work for a 5-minute event. So every morning you get a notification on your phone, check KPIs and update the sheet. So you don't forget. And then you gotta go, okay, cool, gotta go in. It takes 5 minutes, bro, to update it.
Yeah.
You do that every single day. Aaron was telling me his business partner, Cole, he runs their company. They're doing millions a month, right?
Yeah.
30 grand a day in ad spend. The owner of the company, where they have hundreds of employees, the owner, Aaron was telling me, he was like, dude, he's in his sheets all day looking at numbers. It doesn't matter what level you're at. This will always be a high value task, is looking at your numbers and figuring out what's going on. So anyway, biggest takeaway so far, track everything every single morning, raise your prices, and start spending $100 a day. Your offer's good, bro. Your offer's really good. I want to look at the call center thing. I think we can really optimize that. That could be really, really valuable moving forward long-term for clients. We'll probably look at a couple of your sales calls, see what's going on there. Don't ever lower your prices. Don't ever do one-off projects. Here's the offer. Here's the problem we solve. You're good at sales. You can definitely close more than 40% of qualified leads for sure.
Wait, here's throw more data at you. Let's say in 15 days I'm running the ad. I'm just like getting kicker leads. Dude, does that look like new ads? Is that like, what does that look like? Because I know we're gonna film more ads this weekend. When do I implement those? How long do I let these ones run?
Yeah, good question. You let them run as long as they're performing.
I don't even like test.
Actually, no, you can test, right? So because you're spending 100 a day, that's a decent amount that you could also run new creatives and test alongside those.
But in my situation, unfortunately, I'm running 3 ad sets too. So that's already 30 per ad. So if I even just split test one
That's all right. You can add one more per ad set.
I will. Okay.
Targeting the same areas.
On 100.
Yeah, you're good.
Bang.
$30 per, 15 per creative is that's enough to test.
Cool.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. So I would do one more totally different angle and creative in each ad set. Try that out, see how those perform. But there's different variables, right? So if at the end of the day you end up doing that, you spend more on ads, your lead cost is like around the same, if not a little bit more, but they're just all tire kickers, right? Based on other data is going to determine why and what the solution is, okay? So let's say hypothetically you get 100 leads, 80 of them are tire kickers. So okay, well, why are they tire kickers? Well, how are we coming to that conclusion, right? What's our lead to booking rate? So all you know is you have 100 leads, 20 of them booked in a call themselves from the lead form on the thank you page. The other 80 didn't. What's the first thing you got to ask yourself?
Did I triage them? Did they pick up?
Did you call them within 5 minutes? Yeah, right? I'll tell you right now, if you call all of them within 5 minutes, no way you'll ever have a 20% lead to booking.
Yeah.
Never. Might be 50. And the only reason, if you have a really low lead to booking and they're all tire kickers, they're not qualified leads, like you have a really bad qualified lead rate,
Yeah.
the only reason would be what?
Bad messaging on the ad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically that's my biggest threat, honestly. Because I know that they're going to get 5 calls in 5 minutes, whether it's me or a call center or AI, whatever. I actually did AI this month, July. So like this is actually not that bad. Yeah.
That, okay.
It's a decent metric for that.
Shit.
27 scheduled out of the 36.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
That's not bad.
Yeah, and I have the numbers. It tracks it for you too, so I can show it to you.
Oh,
But-
interesting. 20, yeah, because it calls immediately?
But I also noticed that because the AI stuff is always changing,
Yeah.
that also like kind of dipped the next month, and the next month it dropped even more.
And that's
'cause
why it's
inconsistent.
important to look at consistent data over months and combine all of it, right? Because you could have a good month and there could be variables. And when you look at everything as a whole over multiple spans of stretches of months, that's when you get more accurate data to figure out what's actually not working
And what's not.
working,
Yeah. But regardless, if it has to be me with calling them within because of the time difference, I would figure out a way. Whether I get a VA or whatever, they're gonna get called within 5 minutes, and if I have to triage them on my own time after the commitment was micro upgraded by the VA, immediately calling them or call center, whatever it may be, so be it. That's not gonna be a constraint. Biggest constraint is making sure that they're qualified, or future constraint, make sure that they're qualified, proper ad messaging.
It's the ad messaging and or honestly your lead forms. Like you could be asking the wrong questions, which I don't think you are. Like you got good questions. You shouldn't really have to worry about that.
Yeah, and there's no way I'm spending $3,000 and not getting like 5 qualified leads.
There's no way, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way that you don't.
Because that means that if even worse comes to worse, it's like, oh, I'm assuming 7 days, $700 is enough to test before I'm like, okay, I should swap.
Here's the thing. How much can you afford to spend for an acquisition cost? Like how much can you afford to spend to acquire a client?
$7,500. Yeah.
And you're never gonna come anywhere near that. You just know you're not.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like even if your acquisition cost goes up to like $1,000, which is not gonna happen, bro.
Yeah.
You're smart enough that that's not going to happen. Even if it did though, you're still over 2x cash ROAS. You're over doubling still. So then it's just a matter of how fast can you spend that to acquire more clients, because guess what? That's just the first month. What about when they keep paying you month over month over month?
Yeah.
Right? Then the only other variable that would cause you to lose money or be in a bad position is if you just have crazy churn.
Yeah.
Right?
Which wouldn't happen if we're getting the systems in place. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then let me ask you, where would I go wrong in this? Because it almost sounds so light work.
Don't solve problems that don't exist yet.
Yeah. So just bro, like stop talking about the call stuff, stop all these other things, or figuring out how they're gonna get called, whatever it may be. Just, okay, the only per chance constraint is maybe stock some ads while I wait. And then like,
And take your calls and close deals.
yeah, that's and then there, everything
Track
else.
your numbers. That's it. Yeah, bro. I'm when I was with Nolan, he was like, it can't be this simple.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
If you talk to him, he'll say, now he will shout it to the stars, bro. He will shout it to the stars and he will say, don't solve problems that don't exist. Because while he was with me the whole time, he was like, well, what if this happens? I was like, then you'll solve it when it happens.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what if this happens? Solve it if it happens. But right now, that's not the problem. This is the problem.
Yeah,
And here's why that's also important, because when you solve problems that exist, that are right in front of you, you don't get into a state of analysis paralysis. You don't start one task and then stop and then start another one because you're thinking of all these things that you could do.
Oh my goodness.
And you can just focus on one or two things at a time.
Yeah.
Here's what I do every morning. We wake up, Amanda and I just started doing this. We'll wake up and I'll go, we'll sit down and she'll say, what are the 3 needle moving tasks you can do today? Just three things. 3 things you need to do today to move the needle further and take one step further in the business. Typically, amongst improving acquisition, improving client results, and that's really it, like 2 things, and maybe like making sure your team's dialed, right? But it's like you have your daily tasks, checking your numbers, checking in with the team, making sure everybody's kosher, we're all doing what we should be doing. And then it's like looking at our spreadsheets and going, what number do we need to improve? Okay, this and this, what's highest priority? Well, if I improve this number by 20%, that will make me 2 times more money than if I improve this number by 20%. So I'm gonna focus my time on this thing, right? It's literally Aaron was looking at all this stuff and he was like, bro, we just need more volume of creative.
yeah, just more creatives.
More creatives.
Really.
And so what does that tell me?
That's the one biggest problem you should.
I'm just gonna spend all day scripting the
yeah,
ads.
yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna do anything else, nothing else, just that.
And then when you solve that, now you have a new biggest problem.
And then when I solve that, we implement, get the new data and go, what's the next one? And you're just going one after the other and you're vertically focused, right? Focused on one thing at a time. Because when you're focused on one thing at a time, you can solve that one thing and then you can actually get it done and get it done well instead of half-assing and doing a 2% of a bunch of different things.
Half delegating it to the head videographer
Yeah.
to make an AI ad that launch and does crap.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I want you to go in and even if they're not good, even if you didn't really do anything, I know you spent at least something on ads every month for the past few months, right? Okay, you didn't go a month where you spent nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to go over the past 3 months. You got July. I want you to do August and September, and I want you to update the trackers so they're accurate. Okay, so we can combine them and we can see what averages are so far.
Even if I like did polarizing chains campaign to campaign.
Because here's what we're gonna find.
Yeah.
This will make you feel better. You're gonna find that your freaking cost per call went way up, your acquisition cost freaking skyrocketed to 1,000, whatever. Even though it's so high, after we take the averages of the past 3 months, you'll still find that even if you still did the same thing, you'd be crazy profitable. Your numbers are so good, dude. Like those are really, really good. And again, if you look at 3 months and you go, this month was insane, AKA July. But then August and September, we changed our creatives and it just plummeted like we're sucking. Okay, well, now that I have my numbers, I can see this one crushed. Okay, what were the ads that I was running at that time and why did I shut them off?
Yeah.
Why did you shut them off?
Because the Facebook lead form thing, like it shut me down. I duplicated the campaign, it shut me down, and then I just threw out,
So
okay,
the
I'll make
ads
new
stopped
ads.
running.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you go back into that other situation, figure out how to run the ads again?
Yeah, well, it sounds like you just made a new campaign. You didn't duplicate though. You made a whole
I
fresh
did.
one.
Yeah, it looks like it's
and it looks
good.
like they're going.
Approved.
So, and most of the time too, the solution's so simple. We just overcomplicate it so much, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hold on. It's like, okay, well, so the lead form shut down. So instead we go do whole new creatives. It's like, well, no, solve the problem of why it shut it down and get it back up, right? Until they fatigue, they just stop working. But it's like, dude, just solve that one thing, right? And look, we're just like, oh, just make a new campaign.
Yeah, not even
And
have to
they're
make new
gonna
ads.
go
just
through.
new
A lot of
campaign.
times that solves the problem, right? Like on the ad workshops every Friday, Ari, all the time, if people have weird problems with something, he'll be like, just make a new ad set. Oh, I'm sorry, make a new campaign and then just rerun it again. And they do it and it's like, oh, it's solved. Sometimes campaigns will get weird and glitchy. So anyway, yeah, let's see this run. $100 a day. Let it rip again. After you spend like $1,000.
Should I do like 200 for the next 2 days? See if we can get it here.
I mean, I think you could.
Yeah.
No, do 100 to start. Don't do 200. Do 100. Keep it kosher. If you're getting calls, yeah, you should be able to get 1 to 2 calls a day.
Oh, like 1 to 2
Over the
leads,
next
aka
couple days.
triages or sales calls.
Yeah, so you get notified with your leads, right? When new leads
Yeah.
come through. Okay, yeah, so be prepared this weekend. Once they're officially live and they're spending, be prepared when leads come through, whatever we're doing, stop and call them on the spot. Okay, and I'll also be able to hear your triages. Make sure we're doing a good job on
My
those.
triages are a banger, I swear. But I actually know that AI has done it for the last 3 months. And it has booked it in. One of the clients I closed there, where actually like he yelled at that. He's like, dude, I don't have time for this. Hung up. And I just called him like 2 days later. I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh yeah. And then I just booked him in.
Yeah, and then double dialing every day. right? Can your AI double dial and do that multiple times
Double
a day?
dials it 3 times a day for 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's right. You told me that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, just let that rip then. Let it go. Let AI do it. If it did that well before, I'm sure it can maintain consistency.
Yeah, and if it tweaks out, then I'll just call that lead.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you feel like this was so complex for you? Why have we not made money over the past few months?
Then now it shifts a little bit into not necessarily a mindset thing, but also surroundings. Because who am I surrounded by? What is happening around me every single day? And as much as I want to isolate myself, I get shunned from everything and everyone. Parents.
You get shunned?
Shunned, but also like my mom is like, why aren't you going out? And like you could say it in two ways. Why aren't you going out and traveling in this amazing opportunity? Or you could say, why aren't you going out and wasting your young years? AKA,
She would say that?
If
Like
I corrected her,
you to like enjoy your young years and not really like work? Is that what she said?
yes, 1,000%. It was a battle. Remember when I bought the office? I know you were on your honeymoon, so it wasn't as much.
Yeah.
But it was a battle to even go out to Chicago to the office that I bought.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you can't go there for a month. I was like, if I really, and this is the hard part, because if I really was like, no, I am like, I don't care. Hate me, everything, whatever. Cut me out of college, I'm doing this. Then realistically, what would have happened? We know I would have dialed in. Different story, because I'm just in my own thing, cooking every single day. But what happened? Yeah, okay, I'll compromise the principle and purpose.
Well, how long were you going through that?
But ever since I came back.
What about when you got to Italy? How long ago was that?
I got to Italy almost exactly a month ago, actually. So cool. Italy, obviously, like there's all this, okay, like let me check it out, whatever. Also, I didn't move into my apartment until the beginning of this month. So that's kind of when it's like, okay, now let's get back to work. Took a sec to get settled, right, with all these different things. For the past like 15, 20 days, massive progress, more than the entire summer. Why? And I told you this when we first touched base again. It's because it's actual consistent work, consistent intensity is when I was journaling, so I found it. I need consistent intensity because I'm not just not working, right? When you're consistently being really intense on the things that move the needle, it takes energy to focus on the things that move the needle. You need the clarity of working intensely every single day.
Yeah.
To
So
see
you've
that.
been in that state for the past like 15 to 20 days?
15 to 20 days.
Okay.
Yes.
So what have your inputs been? What have you been doing? primarily?
So this is actually where, believe it or not, even if you didn't call me, I was around the corner from figuring out, maybe not the tracking stuff, not all this, 100%. But I knew ads was the biggest thing. I need to get my ads back up, whether it's AI or not. I mean, I showed you, I was recording ads. That was, I think, the day you called me. And that would have been up, but then I was like, okay, I'm about to launch a new ad that, whatever, blah, blah, I'm about to go, I'm out here. But that was, I knew, the biggest thing that I needed up. Biggest inputs was big on fulfillment. I'm like, okay, if I am never going to have a deep breath again before we open up acquisition channel, I'm gonna sharpen all fulfillment, right? Because then our biggest constraint was calls. So I was working on the call center stuff while delegating the thing that made the money, AKA opening back those acquisition channels up, delegating it to my head videographer, which guess what? It got done less fast, less high quality, all these different things. So it's almost like an excuse to not do the thing while also, it's mental masturbation in a way.
You said you were around the corner regardless, but you're also saying it was like mental masturbation. As in you were just kind of, felt like you were productive, but at the end of the day, to be honest with you, dude, no matter what you do, none of it matters if you don't know your numbers.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? So I don't, not to
discredit,
not
but
to
I know where it's
discredit,
going, yeah.
but I don't think you were around the corner.
Yeah.
Because we weren't doing the basics.
Yeah. No, and I'll take that, yeah. I think, so then why did I say that then? Let's say, maybe it's easier to be like, let's say when I'm trying to fix the acquisition channels, instead of getting nitty gritty numbers, all of that, editing new videos just to get the ad up like that to get it and launch it. Dude, if I wasn't here, I would have totally delegated that to my guy. Dude, just launch the ad, right? It would have done a long time and it would have not done as well. Maybe he wouldn't have checked the box that said, target in a specific area, which is something he didn't do and fucked a bunch of shit. So I thought stuff was getting done when it wasn't. That's probably why I said that.
Yeah, so delegating too soon.
What is the thing we talked about? Low leverage does not mean high value.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's the phrasing there? We're onto something. I know what we're trying to say. Just because something is low value doesn't mean it's not high leverage. So value is for example, a low value task. What's the difference in a low value task and a high value task?
One has a really big inputs that change a lot of things, and then low value.
That's leverage.
Oh.
Value is, in order for someone to complete this task, do you need a high value person or a low value person? Meaning, plugging in numbers is a low value task. A VA can do that. But writing copy is a high value task. But depending on what you need and what your constraints are in the business, meaning depending on what your numbers tell you are the problem, that's what's highest leverage. So for example, like putting in your numbers and tracking your numbers, you need to be in the middle of that in the beginning at least. You need to be aware of what your numbers are. So that's low leverage, but it's high value, because knowing that is what's going to move the needle, right? Filming an ad, that's probably not high value. Anyone can film an ad. But you being the one to do it and get it launched and doing it right now is high value.
Yeah, and doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the constraint by far.
And just doing the basics, bro, and doing them really well. So far, what we've identified is nationwide versus local. I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think you need to do local. You can do nationwide because why?
The AI ads, the numbers behind the AI ads.
The numbers are telling you that they're working for your client.
That's the first one I actually guessed right.
Yeah, so there you go. So I wouldn't worry about that. Keep it nationwide. I think that's great. You still maintain location freedom, and your TAM is fucking everyone. So and then delegating too soon, right? So like understanding the difference between, okay, what is the most important thing to do right now to solve the immediate problem at hand? Okay, client results is important, but at the end of the day, you got a few clients that are getting good results. You're not going to get a bunch of great results for 100% of your clients, which is another thing to consider. How many clients right now are you actively working with?
5.
5? How many of them are profitable? 0? What about the 2 that you said are like crushing, they're doing well?
They're crushing the leads. So with that, with every one that I showed you, if you look at the Slack, I showed you where they are the farthest down steps.
5 active clients, and all of their constraints are not contacting leads?
I would say not contacting leads.
Are all of them getting good leads? Good lead costs?
Yeah, all of them. And
great. Okay.
Only one of them, in terms of like qualified leads, one of them is like funky with the qualified leads, but he only spent $500 and we're changing the offer. So yes, all of them.
So creative's good. None of them are getting calls. So the solution is?
Call center. Short term, me call now.
Yep.
Oh! All right.
You call them now. So you know what we're going to do? You also get notified when all your clients get leads, right? Come through?
Yeah, in Slack.
Okay. Stay on top of these and actually have like notifications pop up. And while we're doing stuff this weekend, the second you get a lead that comes through, you're gonna call them right away, and you're gonna set the call for them.
What about the call center guys? Because they are on it. Like it is long term.
Pause them. You do it for them. Okay. Because here's the thing: are you actively are they paying for call center right now?
They're not.
With your offer, or are you just adding that in? Like what is?
I added it so that they could succeed.
Okay. Before we do that, I want you to just prove to your clients that they can
profit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's what we need to do. I need to find that one video from Hermosi saying, call your leads. So here's what you're gonna do. Anyone complains about calling leads, you're gonna save this video, just send this to them. Be like, hey, if you don't wanna listen to me, listen to someone who makes 5,000 times more money than you do. If they won't listen to you, reference another base of higher authority, him. Because if they don't listen to him, they're fucking fucked. Like you can't make any money. If you're not gonna listen to this dude, you know what you're talking about. So like this proves the value of literally just listen to this.
I recently talked to a restoration company. And he told me he was converting 55% of his leads, not calls, leads.
That's nuts. 55% of leads.
And I was like, well, how many leads a day do you get? He said 2 or 3. Okay, so what's the process? He's like, oh, it's really simple. My aunt, I pay her $60,000 a year. And she has only one job. She has no responsibility in the company besides the moment a lead comes in, you stop having sex with your husband, you stop cooking, you stop loving your child, and you immediately call the lead. That's the only responsibility. She just has to make 3 calls a day at the moment the leads come in. He pays her $60,000, and that brings in millions of dollars of revenue.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck if you're too busy as a business owner. This should be the highest value priority that you have in your business, is calling the fucking leads that come through. So if any of if they ever complain about are they making complaints?
No.
No? Okay. You talk to them frequently though? Like good communication?
I would say not frequently, no.
No? Okay. How frequently are you communicating?
If I call them all the time, like let's say weekly, they would be like, yeah, no, like it's just like they're not booking. That would be the thing.
Are they all in Go High Level? Do they all have a sub account?
Yes.
Okay, and you're able to see outbound calls that they're making, right?
Oh, I didn't think about that. But yeah, yes, I am.
Hold up. Hey, hold up, bro. Hold up. I just thought of something. Holy shit. Here's what you're gonna do. Weekly cadence, because he's got all of his clients in Go High Level, so you can see outbound calls they make, right? Mm-hmm. They should be calling from the business number Go High Level.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see outbound calls. They either made the call or they didn't, and you can see what time they made the call too. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You could take the same booking rate and take that to the amount of leads that we're calling 5 minutes.
And then take their assumed close rate. Every company should have a close rate that they've been doing with their current sales process. Mm-hmm. Let's assume their close rate's 50% for math's sake. Okay.
And then you put in their face that, hey.
50% close rate of all calls, booked appointments, Okay, 50% close rate. So you would say, based off 50% close rate, because you had 5 leads this week that were not contacted within 5 minutes, even if they called 6 or 7 minutes later, it wasn't within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Meaning, you didn't get a call booked because you didn't call them sooner. If you would have called them sooner, that's 5 appointments you could have booked, 6 appointments left on table.
3 deals unclosed. And then like
Let's say average order value of $2K.
$6,000 lost.
You would literally send that in a Slack report every single week.
Yeah. Because you know what's funny? We actually do have one client who's killing it. The one guy who's killing it. He's like 17. He's a window cleaner. The only thing that he does is as soon as he comes in, and he just spams.
Bro, okay, you need to make a Loom video.
Yeah.
Here's another fucking action item for you. Bro, I'm solving your problem right now. You don't need a call center.
Okay.
Ignore it. You don't need a call center.
Wait, are you sure? Because even the incompetent people, I can make them still.
No, make them competent. If you want to add real value, make them a fucking business owner.
Yeah.
Like this is where like Elite Circle, this is what we're trying to do with our guys, is take them from marketing agency to being a better business owner and teaching your clients how to be better business owners. That's how you become high value, high level, right? Aaron isn't just coming in and making more and more ads and tracking numbers. He's teaching me how to be a better business owner, which in return is going to make me more money. So no, instead of just saying, oh, well, they're just not contacting their leads, so go ahead and get a call center. I actually think, no, I think we need to tell them to get better at calling their leads and make them become better business owners and make more money. It's not a big ask. Bro, they're not getting more than, 3 leads a day probably, most of your clients.
Dude, but I've ran them through that stuff so many
Well, think
times.
about it this way. With
Yeah.
Rosie, he owns acquisition.com for a reason.
Yeah.
He's consulting people how to become better business owners. He doesn't do it for them.
Yeah.
He literally acquires them and says, do what I say to do.
That's true. Yeah. But there's so many people who'd be like, yeah, no, it makes sense, it makes sense. I'm like, okay, cool, and I do it. What happened? Oh. Because here's the problem. Their failure is my failure.
You can't hold their hand and coddle them though. Try this first. I want you to just try this. Okay. Try this if you don't see a significant increase in results from your current clients. Because here's the other thing too. A few of them might start doing it and start seeing results. But then maybe a couple of them don't, and it's not because it's on you. They're probably just shitty clients.
No, yeah.
And you're gonna have shitty clients, right?
But
so
with
it's
an AI ads offer, I don't have to deal with them. So why not be able to take their money and actually book them appointments?
you can try both. You can try both. Okay. Try the AI call center and then just split test.
Okay. Yeah.
See how it goes. Because if that does work, then great. Then just let that rip.
It'd be pretty funny if you do it while I'm dialing. Hey, is this Marissa?
This is she.
Hey, you reached out about a week ago to start generating more leads for your life coaching business. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, yeah, absolutely it does.
Awesome. Well, I'm just in between meetings right now. I figured I'd take 2 seconds to ask you some questions about your life coaching business to make sure that we could actually even help. You have a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I'm surprised to get a business call on Saturday afternoon, but you caught me at a good time, so I have a few moments.
Amazing. We work hard over here, so we're always on it. I mean, where do you currently get your leads from?
Like hundreds of leads that he's just.
Well, right now I'm sort of in this. I'll be honest. I've been focusing on other ventures, and I've had some challenges getting leads. I opened the business not long ago. I'm in the process of talking to a public relations firm, and I've tried with like SEO optimization, but that's a lengthy process that can take months with backlinks and everything. So, I mean, prior to the last month or two when I started the business, I was doing it pro bono, like on the side. So I've struggled a little bit getting leads, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, well, I appreciate the transparency, Marissa. That is a very common problem we end up finding with people. SEO and everything like that is great, but at the end of the day, you obviously want something that returns on your investment and time a little bit faster.
Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I went about this sort of the wrong way initially. I invested a lot of money in things that could take months to make an impact. So that's really where I am.
Yeah, well, I would obviously have to, dive in a little bit more deeper to see if we could actually even help. But people who we work with ends up getting their first leads within 24 to 48 hours of working with us. So,
wow, that's phenomenal. Okay.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
how do you generate the leads?
We were on Facebook and Instagram ads.
Okay. All right. And so what's your, just a ballpark, just so I can prepare, because maybe that would be a better solution for myself. I'm also in this process where, I'll be honest with, my website host,
You got it.
I have a website, of course. I can't recall, excuse me, if I gave up what information I had
Yeah.
provided to you before. But my website host, unfortunately, they don't have the capabilities to meet like the industry standards for coaching. So as far as like the automated emails, the SMS messaging, the funnels, I've had excruciating difficulty integrating those into my website. So I'm in the process, again, of building, and I love my website. I love the aesthetic, but I don't, in order for me to have the business, I almost have to conduct myself the old-fashioned way, like 10 years ago, where I'm responding to every email, I'm responding to every phone call, and if I don't pick up or respond in a timely manner, I miss that lead. And it's just not optimal in today's world where people demand instant
She's talking about speed to lead.
So
Yeah, I'll book her
I'm
in,
in the process of having another website constructed that's using like Go High level technology that has the customer
Should I just cut her off?
CRM management and everything. So that's sort of why my ventures have sort of stalled, just because the way I began things was not optimal for the industry standards of how to be successful now. Anyway, I just give you a lot of information, but as far as Facebook and Instagram ads, what would be your recommendation for like
where
your
she's not
monthly
qualified.
budget for each ad? What would you say, like somewhere between $30 and $75 a day is usually an expectation, just so I understand if I were to pursue your services?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, here's what I can tell you, Marissa. Every business is different. What we would have to do, I mean, you did mention actually, I don't usually do this, but you said right now is a good time.
What's that?
No,
I missed
you're
that
good.
question.
You said right now is like you're kind of free.
Yeah, I'm sitting, I believe it, hopefully I don't get interrupted. I'm sitting at a park bench with my child at the park right now, but I'm free at the moment. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I am working for the next couple of hours. I guess I got you at a good time for me as well. When's the next time you have access to a laptop? I could just book you in a little bit earlier because usually I don't book Saturdays, but it seems like you already know your questions and everything like that, and I could answer that more in depth on the call. So, I mean, when's the next time you have soonest access to a laptop?
Are you Pacific Standard Time? Is it around 3:30 where you are? I told Newport.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming
we're based in
Standard
Irvine.
Time. Okay, so it's 3:30 for you. I'm just trying to come up with a feasible time for you as well. I could potentially, is an hour and a half from now too late? Is 5 o'clock too late in the evening for you on a Saturday?
That's perfect, Marissa. Like I said, we work hard over here, so yeah, I can adjust to that.
Okay, just send me a link and I can try. This way I'm somewhere where I'm free of interruption and we can understand each other perfectly. Is an hour and a half, will that work for you?
So that would be 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I'll see you at 5 PST. Is this the best email and number to send like the confirmation and the reminders?
Yeah, this is the best number if you want to text me the link, and absolutely my email is marissaconway@proton.me. And just so I missed your introduction, just so I know what company you work.
Yeah, of course. So I'm actually the owner, I usually don't take these calls, but of Dagency. Tell you what, just so we're speaking the same language on this call, and you come like with a little bit more context and information, I have a 3-minute mandatory video that I can go ahead and shoot over to you just in between that time right now and when we hop on that call. So we're both on the same page and you have a lot of answers or questions answered.
Yeah, in the preservation of time, your time and my time.
Yes, ma'am.
But thanks for finding me on Saturday evening. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will definitely review that prior to getting on, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for finding me. 24 to 48 hours would be fabulous for me to start booking clients.
Yes,
I have to do some catch-up work to make sure I'm prepared, but it's been a long time coming. So anyway, all right. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Then. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. All right, talk to you soon.
Call your leads. Bro, first call, double dial, answered, booked an appointment. She's like, leads would be great.
I don't know if she's qualified.
Bro, she wants to do it. Okay, listen. She wants leads.
She does.
What did her form say?
$600 to $6,000 ticket price life coaching. But she
Did
also,
she say her revenue?
did you hear?
No.
She was like, this is why I was like hesitant. She was like, yeah, like what is it called? I've started a business like 2 months ago. I've been on other ventures. I've been pro bono and all these different things.
Don't look at hard qualified. Like, you're not in that position yet. Like, dude, you can close anyone. You have to go in with that mindset too. I can't tell you how many times I hop on a call and I'm like, no way this guy's closing. And I immediately catch myself and I'm like, well, hold on. Let me do everything I possibly can to see if I can help them and then get the close regardless. If you're good, dude, I literally have closed people that have nothing.
Like a firm PIF?
A firm PIF, payments, deposit, like.
Oh my God, yeah.
And listen, dude, if they have you know what, bro?
If they have a grand, then they have a grand. Then I can close them. Wait. So you have this right here, the 10 grand, right? Am I allowed to go drop below $2,500 a month? Because you technically did that today.
Yeah, it's up to you. Listen, ours is a 4-month, but I'm like, listen, what we need to do to get started today is go to like 6 months over time. I'm happy to do it. It's up to you though. That's at your discretion. You can pay up to 12 months if you want to. I don't recommend that though. Don't do that.
Not on mine, but on a firm.
Yeah. Oh, a firm. A firm is
do whatever.
Yeah. A firm is like.
And that kind of increases the thing. So like.
What's your processor? Stripe.
Fan basis. Yeah, I could do a firm or Klarna.
You have the option.
Yeah. Oh my
Why
God.
haven't you used that, bro?
What are we doing here, bro?
Why haven't you used
Dude,
a
I'm
firm?
gonna call all these guys. I'm gonna make so much money.
Bro, hold on. Here's the thing. If they have a good credit score, they could probably get approved for a firm, and you get paid in full. A firm gives it all to you.
And
they assume responsibility, so if they don't make payments or whatever, like a firm takes that. You don't have to worry about it. You get paid in full.
So literally, it removes
Callie,
the budget constraint.
Come here. So we talked about a lot. We diagnosed what the constraints were and what the things were holding you back from scaling. So what are your biggest takeaways? What are the things you're going to take away from this and implement to get past 30K per month? What's the only thing you're focusing on? Numbers. By far the biggest thing. And then also just concept of like simplicity wins. Simplicity of solving what's happening right now and not overcomplicating things. What else?
Okay, so calling leads immediately.
Yeah, dude. He's sitting on like what, 30, 40 some leads that you just didn't contact.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, so we called him. The first one you contacted, she called and she answered. She's like, oh, thanks for calling.
We have sales.
And then you have a sales call right now that he's sitting on. He's getting ready to hop on a sales call and it's probably going to result in a close. $7,500 just like that. I'm sorry, $10,000.
Oh, wait, this is the first time.
Yeah. 10,000. Anyway, you see how easy that was? Guys, just run ads, okay? And again, if you want to learn how to do that, watch my other YouTube videos so that way the data tracking and how to actually run ads and all these other questions of yours are actually answered. I can't stress this enough. I literally give away on my YouTube so much shit that 99.9% of other people actually charge thousands of dollars for. That 1% that doesn't is me. So watch all the YouTube videos and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bingo.